The Washington Wizards are mid. And I mean, they are the definition of mid in terms of NBA teams. At least since I was born, there's been nothing but the Washington Wizards in my life, okay? Like, I don't even know what other word to say about their franchise than the fact that they are mid. Now, I'm talking about more recent history, but as I did research for this video, I kind of found that really since like the 80s, that's been the case for them, and that was well before I was born. But I'm going to be keeping it more recent history because that's what's more in people's memory, and same with me, and that's the only reason I made this video. But I'm going to be getting to why I think they're mid, their past history of being mid, in literally every facet of basketball, and I'll just be getting to all that in this video. So if that does sound interesting to you, watch it all the way through, and hope you like the video. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and the word me. And without further ado, without running on too much, let's get right into this video. So really the first asset of being mid for the Wizards that I want to get into is going to be, let's just get in the most obvious one, their records of the last 3 seasons. This year, they're currently having a record of 30-32, so almost 500, literally the definition of mid. And then last year, they had a record of 35-47, and the year before that, they had a record of 34-38. So always kind of hovering around that 500 mark, and literally always close to the middle. And what's the beginning of middle? Mid, okay? And like, that's insane for a team to be this consistently average. And you know, that's always a bad thing, because being average is the worst place to be, and it's a big reason to why they are always average. Because since they're always never terrible, but also never great or good, they always kind of result in not getting the highest draft picks. And that is a also big reason to my next point to why the draft history of this team has also been so average. Look at their last picks in recent history. In 2022, they picked Johnny Davis, who right now is kind of having a questionable start to his career. And I'm not writing him off yet, but he's having a very questionable start to his career. 2021, they picked Corey Kispert, a very average player who's just a three-point shooter right now in his career. 2020, they picked Denny Avengito, a very average 3-and-D player. 2019, they picked Rui Hachimura, when he was on their team, was an extremely average power forward. In 2018, with pick 15, they picked Troy Brown, an extremely average role player, and it keeps going. In 2013, with the 3rd overall pick, they picked Otto Porter, an average role player. It is absolutely insane how average this team is in the draft. Like, and this is with a multiple variety of picks. They've had 4 top 10 picks that I just mentioned, and all of them are in the top 15. All the picks I mentioned were in the top 15, and 4 of them were in the top 10, I mean, which is absolutely insane for them to consistently just get average players. They're not even drafting bad players. They're just drafting guys that don't move the needle in any way, but are going to continue to make the team average and keep them afloat to the point to where they won't be bad. It's just mind-boggling how they consistently can do this, and no other team does this. They either draft a bust, either sometimes draft an average player, or then occasionally draft a superstar. But that's not what the Washington Wizards do, no matter where they pick. They never pick bad players, so kudos to them. They're not picking bad players, but they're not picking good players either. They're just like, it's insane how this team is right now. And that's really been the case since they drafted Bradley Beal. That was the last star they drafted, and I'm pretty sure that was in 2012. So to go that far back and have this much track history in recent history of just being average in drafting is insane. And then you even look at their additions that they have made. They've also been very average. They had Russell Westbrook for 1 season, and I think they made the playoffs. No, I don't even think they made the playoffs with Westbrook, but they were a good team with Westbrook. But, like, it was also Westbrook on the back end of his prime, kind of falling off, no longer being the superstar. So, like, it was a big name, but he was no longer the same player he once was. And then after that, it's like Kristaps Porzingis, who's a borderline star, I guess, and then Kyle Kuzma. And those are their three biggest additions in recent history through free agency. So, through the draft, through free agency, through their record, they're just nothing but mid, and it's insane how they can do this. But then you might say, well, with them adding this many average players to borderline all-star players through free agency and the draft, they had to have at least had some sort of playoff success. But no, as let's just dive into their playoff success they've had so far. And they haven't made the playoffs since the 2020 through 21 season, where they lost in the first round in 5 games. Then after that, they didn't make the playoffs since 2017 through 18, where they lost 2-4 in the first round. And then they haven't made it past the first round since the 2016 and 17 season, where they once again lost in the second round. And then, to go back to the last time they made the conference finals, you have to go back to 1978 through 79 season. By the way, that was 25 years before I was conceived and put onto this earth. And they haven't even sniffed that. As like I said, they haven't made it past the first round since 2016. So even their playoff success is mid. Everything about this team is mid. And mid as hell. Like, you might think I'm exaggerating, but with everything I just laid out, it's literally the definition of this team. They need to change the name to the Washington Wizards. Like, that is what they currently are, and it's absolutely insane how they have consistently been. It's impressive, honestly, how incredibly average a team can possibly be in every aspect of team building, talent acquisition, and just overall success. Like, especially for the past 3 years, it's absolutely insane. It's mind-boggling. It's really like it shouldn't even exist. Like, usually teams can acknowledge, like, look, we should tank, or look, we're good enough to make a playoff run. But the Wizards are special. They just decide, no, this is fine. We're okay with how we are. And I guess they want to sell tickets is what they're going for, because they are good enough to sell tickets, so I guess that's cool. But honestly, with how they currently are, they're going to be mid for another very, very long time until they decide, let's blow it the hell up, get a whole bunch of picks, get a whole bunch of young guys, and try to build for the future. And until they do that, they are the Wizards. But unfortunately, guys, that's more for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think Washington needs to blow it up? What do you think they need to do? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute right to me. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.